Okay, so أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Amen. As I promised last week, we're going to start something new today, and then let us make it kind of interactive. Um, so it will be easy to understand what I'm going to say. So let me start with this sign. Abida, this is a letter, right? Can you see it?
Yeah.
What it means?
The sign is the letter H. Yeah.
It says there is hospital in this country.
Okay.
In this country, they say the hospital is ahead. And then there is another one. Let me show you this one. Maybe there are language differences. And Jaharanur, what it says,
Like disabled parking.
disabled parking. Okay. And here, who should I ask? I'm asking Tanisha, what it says?
Just like it's a stop sign.
It is stop sign. Okay. So all these are signs. Some you can see only one letter H represents big things, isn't it? And then same is word. This is only a word. Stop. So these represent so many things. What happened, Tanisha, if you don't stop?
Fine.
There will be a penalty. And there will be accident. So many things, right? With this small word, even with one letter, you can see there are many meanings, the heaps of meanings. It is not simply a word. If you put a stop in your white paper or somewhere else, it doesn't make that sense until you see these signs. Same is true for the letter H. I don't know what Australia say here. H means hospital ahead. And hospital ahead means so many things, right? That if you can, there's an accident, you can take the people there, and then you should not make a loud horn, and so many things with the simple word, simple letter. So my question is, in general, we call these as what? Sajana, Mayumi, what is it? What these things are? What is it? Sajana, all these things, what? How do you call
Signs.
this? In one word?
Signs.
Very good. Mashallah. Thank you. Thank you, Mami. So let me write it down. This is S-I-Z-N-S. Signs. So sign, isn't it? I have some problem with the pronunciation. Anyway, sign. So sign and in Arabic is what? Abida?
I think it's called like an ayah.
Aya. A-Y-A. My question is, why it is aya and why it is not jumla? You know what is jumla, Abida?
Sentence.
Jumla means sentence. Jumla means sentence in Arabic. Okay. So my question is, why the translation of sign is ayah? And we know if you see a book, the book, the sentence, you see, it is combination or collection of sentences. But in Quran, they don't say Jumla. That means those are not sentence. Those are ayah. So that ayah, the way you see the sign, it means a lot, meaning that the ayah means a lot. That's why it is a miracle in the sense that it is the principle of life, we say. For example, if it is not the ayah, instead of ayah, it could be a sentence, what will happen? So it will need thousands of volumes to tell you, because from the beginning to the end, life, the principle of life will be so difficult to collect in one book. So therefore, in Quran, we say all those verses are ayah. That means it has lot of other stuff inside it, and it is the responsibility of the reader. You see, the responsibility of the reader to find out those signs. So in order to find the sign, you need to use investigation. That is what we are saying, sign and signs. SCIENCES. Sign and sciences of Quran. That is what we decided to study. So it is our responsibility to use the sciences. Science does not mean you need to discover it, but it is a logical progression, logical conclusion is called science. Not necessarily it should be a medical science or biological science or something else. So that is what we are intending to do, little by little, not much. Okay, we don't want to indulge with so many things so that we don't understand. So remember, whatever you see in Quran, it is called ayah. Ayah means this sign. So you have to find out what is this sign are so that we can understand the Quran better. That is the purpose of this. The 15 or 20 minutes, maybe you can take some responsibility as well to slowly go through it. So as I discussed before, we are going to start with a sign which is called Huruful Muqattat. H-O-R-O, Huruful Muqattat. M-O-Q-A, Muqattat. Huruful Muqattat. Huruf means letter. And look, Muqattat has several meanings that we are going to discuss today. Then we are done. What is Muqattat? Muqattat, there are several meanings. One of the meanings is distinct letters. This is one meaning. The another mean separated letter. The third one that I found, they are called disjoint letters. Okay, another meaning I found, mysterious. Another I found, divine letters. Oh, you can see, right? My voice is being out of the focus. So these are many meanings, dictionary meaning, and many other meanings of Muqattat. So some scholar interpreted divine letters. We don't know anything about this. And then some other what do you call the scholars are saying these are unknown, beginning of the chapter, meaning that you don't know much in the sight of Allah. There are something that is unknown to you, only Allah knows. So this is one way of limiting our knowledge, that you study Quran, but remember, some of the things Allah knows, nobody knows it. This is one of the meaning. And most of the scholars say we don't know. And that is the acceptable explanation of Huruful Muqattab. So this is the first thing that I mentioned. Two things so far. One is the signs, S-I-G-N-S, sign in Quran. And one of the signs we are studying, it is called Huruful Muqattab. There are some disjoining letter. And as I said, this disjoining letter has some tree. I tried to understand it. One guy called Mustafa, he used a very nice tree structure with the 29 chapters in Quran has these Huruful Muqattab. So, as I said, that we don't know, and no scholar knows about the Huruful Muqattab. So, what we are going to study then? Because only Allah knows, we don't know. What is that? So, we are thinking, is there any message immediately after Huruful Muqattab that has some differences with the chapter without Huruful Muqattab? Meaning that what are the messages Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is trying to give us after the Huruful Muqattab in 29 chapters in Quran? So that is what we are going to study. And I did some homework with the 1-3. Every day, at least 3 we can try, and you can take responsibility. Inshallah, from next week, I'll try to make something with the only 3 chapters, Huruful Muqattab. What are the 5 sentences after the Huruful Muqattab? The message in the 5 ayah. Let us put ayah, A-Y-A. 5 ayah after the Huruful Muqattab, the message from this 5 ayah. As I said, we don't know anything about the Muqattab, but when you see is the messages after the Huruful Muqattab is important, and what actually is there is similarity, dissimilarity between all the 29 chapters where Huruful Muqattab are being used. So this is what, inshallah. Any question from anyone? I don't want to go through the big stuff so that you don't take it next week. Inshallah, I'm going to start with the 3 chapter of Quran. With yeah, Abida, can you just summarize it? Whatever I said. Loudly, please. Loudly.
So you started by talking about signs.
Hmm.
How like every verse of the Quran is known as an ayah, which is a sign. And it's like the responsibility of the person reading to like figure out what it means. And how and it's not called like a sentence, even though like in English that's the word we would normally use for that type of structure. So you talked about how signs is closely related to like science, and how a lot of like the signs in the Quran can be explained through science as well. And then you talked about huruf al-muqatta, which is like the disconnected letters, I think, or like the distinct letters, and how we don't know the meaning of them, but based on there's like 29 surahs that have them, and we're gonna like try to figure out the message of like the surahs that have them, slowly like going through the surahs.
Masha. Thank you. Thank you, Abu.